want to be respected, you want to be strong, you want to stand up for what you know is right, you want to be a man, and you're just too afraid to engage the enemy, turn on yourself. There's a fire inside of you. There's a fire inside of absolutely every man. You can either direct it at your enemy and do your very best to destroy him. Lazy people do a little work and feel like they should be winning. Winners work as hard as possible and still worry that they're being lazy. This is absolutely and utterly true. Even myself, as hard as I work with my monumental successes and billions of dollars, I sit at home and wonder, should I be doing more? Could I do more? Did I really need to sleep 7 hours? Would I have survived if I slept 6? Of course I would have. I feel permanent guilt for how hard I do not work, even though I outwork all of you. And you losers who pale in comparison to me in basically every metric that we have the science to measure, manage to do a little bit of work one day and then think you deserve time off. I deserve time off at the end of the year. I've had a hard year. I can't stop myself working as a person who doesn't need money. Being able to do the things that are hard or do things you don't want to do because you're supposed to do them. A man is supposed to be strong. He needs to be strong, so he has to become strong. That's his job. A man is supposed to be brave. It's not that you can't feel fear, it's that you have to be brave. Oh, an attacker's here. I'm afraid, but I'm a man, so I will go and engage the attacker. It is my job. And now we're teaching men, you don't have to do what you don't feel like doing, you can do what you do feel like doing. And they somehow think that this is dismantling toxic masculinity, when in fact it's actually doing the opposite, because men are born with an innate propensity for violence. When you tell men to act out their feelings, you have some little idiot who's been on drugs his whole life. He should be being taught stoicism, not this garbage. And the reason they're sitting at home, even if they don't admit to these ailments, wondering why they're so unhappy all the time, is because you're fighting an internal battle. Your monologue is different in your mind from what your spirit truly wants. You want to be respected, you want to be strong, you want to stand up for what you know is right, you want to be a man, and you're just too afraid to engage the enemy, so you're going to self-destruct, you're going to turn on yourself. There's a fire inside of you. There's a fire inside of absolutely every man, and you can either direct it at your enemy and do your very best to destroy him, or it's going to burn inside of you and eat you alive. You have to make a choice. The cowardice that you feel that prevents you from engaging the enemy is the biggest betrayal, because now you're just engaging yourself. The battle's certain either way. So I strongly recommend you find who the enemy is and direct your efforts towards their destruction, as opposed to sitting there allowing yourself to self-immolate. The thing that people struggle with most, especially men, is that we only learn lessons the hard way. That's the problem. You want to be good at learning lessons the easy way, which is really paying attention and making sure the feedback you're receiving, you need to be perceptive to it so that it doesn't have to be so hard hitting. You need to be the kind of person who goes out for a drive and his wheels slide a bit and he slows down. But what people typically do is they go out for a drive, their wheels slide a little bit, they continue, and then they crash, and then they realize I should have slowed down once they hit a tree. They only learn the hard way. But when they got the easy little bits of feedback, they didn't want to pay attention to them because it was easy and they thought they got away with it. And it's the same with a relationship and the same with everything else. There's little bits of feedback. You go, okay, this is going to be a problem later on if I continue, but they ignore that part. They wait for it all to blow up and go wrong, and then they learn. So men only learn the hard way. And I guess you can speed things up if you try and learn the easy way. But sooner or later, hard things are going to happen anyway. God's going to make sure. So you're never going to be able to avoid that car crash one way or another. Something's going to happen and it's going to hit you. And then it's your chance to prove to God you are the person you say you are, and to just be cerebral enough about things to understand that everything comes to an end one day, unless you die. And if you die, then it doesn't matter anymore. So, it doesn't, they can throw you in solitary confinement. It's going to end one day, or you're going to die. And when you die, it doesn't matter anymore. So there's no point in being completely distraught about it. You have to find the joy in the crack in the sunlight through the roof, and that's life. What else can you do?
Thinking about it, Andrew, I'm just analyzing our year. Have we had a single day off this year? 1,000 push-ups a day, push-ups, squats. Have we taken a single day off? Name one day where you haven't done any work in any realm this year. 0. I haven't had a single day off this entire year. Not one. There hasn't been a single day where I have worked 0 on the business, worked 0 on my body and my physicality and my strength, worked 0 on my fucking mind, worked 0 on anything, just chill. Let's chill. Let's have a chill day. We've had 0 chill days this year. Go do something. What's wrong with people? This is exactly what you were talking about asking a question you already know the answer to. You know the answer is to stop doing things that waste your time and apply yourself to something important. Now, this may not be a waste of your time, but let me tell you, you're a dumbass, clearly. It's like Googling how to get fit, like you just said. Everyone knows what a push-up is. Do 10,000 of them a day. Stop wasting your time. I've never had to deal with procrastination. I've never had to deal with not being motivated, because what is the alternative? Literally, be a loser forever. I am sick of reading shit on the internet. saying, yeah, you know, some people are special and they take longer to bloom and your time will come. Let me tell you something, 99.9% of people who are born broke, live broke, stay broke, die broke. That is the reality for almost everybody. You already know the answer. You don't need me to tell you.